Hello again and welcome to the Performance Centre here at Howley Hall Golf Club in Leeds, where today we're taking a look at the new Maverick iron range from Callaway. Ryan Rastall here for Golfshake.com, PGA professional and equipment expert. And before we get into talking about this new iron range from Callaway, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. See loads more content from us here at Golfshake to help you play more and play better. So let's go into these models of iron. So 3 new models that have come out with the Maverick family of woods to really suit different players of different abilities and swing types and shot variations. But we've got the Max, which is, as the name would suggest, the most forgiving, highest launching of the family. We have the standard Maverick, and then we have Maverick Pro. So obviously they're kind of aimed at different players, different golfers, people who swing it slightly differently, might want a different ball flight. And the technology within these irons is helping you to do that as well. So many of you will have heard about the AI, artificial intelligence, that Callaway employs when designing golf clubs. And the Maverick family is the first comprehensive family there to use AI technology throughout. So the way it's used in the construction and the design of these irons is to make sure that the flash face technology, which is used in every single iron, so not just every model of iron, but each loft individually has a face designed for that loft of golf clubs. So Callaway have really gone to town with the R&D on these irons and made sure that they suit, like I say, players of different ability and ball flight tendencies and characteristics. So from the Pro all the way through to the Max, you're going to get individual club faces designed using artificial intelligence and using Callaway's flash face technology, which we've seen in the metals. So we also use some technologies that we've seen before. So urethane microspheres behind the face and in the construction there really enhance the feel. So even though this is a cast product, you're going to expect it to feel much softer than previous cast heads have done. The tungsten energy core, which is something that helps relocate weight and CG in each head individually and really promote the ball flight that we're looking for, whether it's the Pro iron, the normal Maverick iron, or the Max. But don't just take my word for it. We've got Dr. Alan Hocknell as the Senior Vice President of Research and Development for Callaway to tell you a little bit more.
Yeah, these are the new Maverick irons from Callaway, and they're really special to us in that they're the first irons ever to be designed using our artificial intelligence tools. So the Epic Flash driver just a year ago was the first club that we had applied those tools to driver face design. Now just a year later, here we are applying it to irons, and it's not really a cut and paste solution. Irons have very different jobs to play throughout the bag. Your long irons different from the mid, different from the short irons. You know, in the long irons, we've had to sort of characterize the optimization around ball speed and launch angle priorities. Maybe in the mid irons, it's about ball speed and spin priorities. And in the short irons, it's about spin control and minimizing launch angle variation. All of these things are different, that mean that the solution that we come up with for your 3 iron, 4 iron might be very different from your 9 iron and pitching wedge. And that stands to reason. But for the first time, we've been able to teach the computer how to optimize around those different goals. And the product is that every iron in the set has a different, unique AI designed face thickness pattern, looking at optimizing the performance of each of those clubs differently. And not only that, there are 3 iron models within the Maverick range. There's a standard and a Pro that I'm holding here. There's also a Max model, slightly more forgiving model. All 3 of those feature that same technology. So now we have 3 different sets of irons in which each iron in the set has a unique AI design face. So a lot of design work has gone in using our AI tools, but then also a lot of manufacturing technology has to come to bear to make that a reality. And we're very proud that we've got that here in the new Maverick line of irons.
So there we have it. Really impressive the lengths Callaway are going through to make each iron suit different types of golfer and perform as well as it possibly can. So enough talking, let's hit a few shots. So I've got the Max iron here to start with. We're going to hit a few on the TrackMan 4 here in the Performance Center, and let's take a little bit of a look at how it performs. So I spec these irons up for myself, so the shaft that when I've used Callaway clubs in the past, it's the Elevate 120 X Flex in my spec, length and lie. So we should, there's no excuse for me not to hit them well. So let's have a few swings. I mean, initially behind the ball, it's obviously a much bigger footprint, much bigger top line of an iron that I am used to, but not horrible looking at all. It's got two painted grooves right at the bottom there to really help you to align the club head properly. But yeah, it's a pretty chunky looking iron head and almost fills you with plenty of forgiveness. So let's hit a couple of shots. It feels good off the face. I mean, it's sort of a firmer kind of feel, I suppose, to irons that I would generally use, but seems to come off pretty quick, and nice high flight there, which we're getting, and really low spin, which is really something that should help that kind of golfer out there that maybe has a bit of a slicey kind of tendency. The offset is obviously there on the iron head to help with that, but also that lowered spin. Generally, when we see people with that kind of slicey kind of swing, we see the ball go very high and spin up in the air and not really go as far as it should do. So the technology in here is trying to help sort of reduce that a little bit. Actually feels really good. When you hit it off the center of the face, there's definitely that responsiveness there. Some irons that I've tested like this, you hit the middle of the face and you can't really tell, wherever you hit the club face, the strikes sound pretty similar, but and feel pretty similar. But this one, you can actually feel when you've middled it, and you can also tell when you haven't as well. Bit of a pulley one, but plenty of forgiveness there. That was a bit more out the toe. I mean, the distance is very impressive. The lofts are stronger than a traditional 7-iron, so in this Max head, we're way down in, I think it's 27 degrees, the 7-iron in this, which is pretty strong. But with that technology, with that tungsten low in the head, that low CG promoting higher ball flight, that loft needs to be slightly stronger in order to cope with that. But having hit shots with it, it's really easy to hit, very forgiving. You can tell when you've hit the middle of the club face, which you can't with some of these sort of game improvery irons that you get on the market. And I think price-wise, they will really appeal to many golfers as well. So now we're going to move on to try the standard Maverick iron head. You can already tell that sole is slightly narrower than what we saw in the Max. Top line, as I look down on it, doesn't look quite as big, and the offset is slightly less too. We've still got those two bottom grooves filled in there. So let's give it a hit and see how it feels. But yeah, definitely looks a little bit smaller than the Max that we've just used. It comes off the face nicely, quite a high flight. A little bit more spin than we saw in the Max as well. Bit of a miss hit, but it's gone absolutely miles. It's just come off with no spin whatsoever. Let's just hit one more. Again, feels really good, slightly higher spin that time. Similar sort of distance that we were getting with the Max, really. Again, very strong loft in these irons, but we're actually seeing a bit more playability. So we're seeing slightly higher spin there, so the ball flight's that bit higher. When it's landing, it's not running quite as far as the Max was as well with that low spin. So let's just hit a couple more. Again, feels good off the face. That was a bit of a miss hit, but still, I mean, that's gone the sort of distance I would normally expect to hit my own 7-iron with a miss hit. But like I say, that it is a much stronger lofted golf club. Slightly better strike, but again, nice high flight. Ball speeds sort of towards the top end of where I would normally get with a 7-iron. So yes, it doesn't feel like a forged product, but it's as close as you're going to get, really. I think the urethane microsphere technology behind the face certainly improves the feel of the product, and it does look that little bit nicer to me than the Max. But let's try the Pro and see how that compares. Already looking at it, the sole is much slimmer, the top line is the same. Looks very much like an iron that I would use, one that I'm more familiar with. Already looks, to me, nicer behind the ball than the other two, but like I say, it's definitely the type of iron that I would go for. So let's give it a hit and see how it goes. Definitely comes off the face nice and quick. That wasn't a particularly good strike, but a little bit out the heel, that one. So the spin has just popped up a little bit on the other models, but you know, it's kind of the distance I would expect to hit a 7-iron, really. That has gone a long way. That was a very good strike, yes, but that's come off the face quite quickly. We're getting some really high ball speed there as well, which is good. Good, it feels great. You know, I'd be hard pushed not to, you know, to think this wasn't forged. You know, it feels that nice. Very forgiving. I've not hit the middle of the face every time with it so far, but the distance is right up there. It's certainly longer than what I use at the moment. Again, another bit of a one out the toe, but we've still got plenty of distance there and plenty of carry on that shot. Not lost much ball speed. Again, really, really good. I mean, the distance is further than anything I've hit in such a small, more compact head ever, really. I think you can really tell that the face that they've designed and the way the head, it's making it come off quite hot. You know, the ball speed is on the top end of where I would imagine for a 7-iron, and you know, the distances we're getting are very good as well. So really enjoyed testing them, and there is definitely something there for everyone. So the Max, they're offering tons of forgiveness and distance, also with a slightly wider sole to help you get it in the air. We've got the standard Mavrik, again, which will appeal to more players, really. It's something that still gives plenty of forgiveness, but also looks a little bit nicer. And then we've got the Pro, which again is gonna maybe pitch at your lower or slightly better ball striker, really. So there's definitely an iron there that is going to help your game and maybe even blend these sets together as well. But certainly the technology Callaway have poured into here, we can see that some of that is working right here when we've tested it on the TrackMan. And I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing that Pro iron creep into some of the bags of the guys on tour as well. But yeah, the whole family is pretty comprehensive in the way that it will suit most golfers. So if you've got any questions on Mavrik or custom fitting in general, please drop us a line below. We will answer as many questions as possible and get back to you with some answers. But as I always say, make sure you go and get custom fitted properly. Go see someone who knows what they're talking about. Mavrik is really good. Price point wise, it really ticks the boxes as well. You're looking about 800 to 850 for a 7-iron set of these, which when you compare some of the irons that are that over £1,000 mark, and these are packed with technology and doing the business when we hit them on the launch monitor there, these really are an iron to watch out for this year. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you all very soon and enjoy your golf.